Alrighty. So again, this is Diesel with People News. Okie I'm not an attorney, not giving legal advice. Never look straight forward. Always look around you to be able to protect yourself by any means necessary. Okay? Anything I say or do is just my opinion. This is a learning video. I'm thinking outside the box. Okay? I'm not giving legal advice. Do not take it as such, people. Alright? Let's go. Oh, P.S. Go to the tribe. He's got maxims, American jurisprudence, everything he does exactly the same way, and you can pause and get the full comprehension as he's reading along. And I love the way he's doing it slowly and precise. Right? Alrighty, let's go.
Manuel explains that this test has to do with whether a bill is regulatory or drawn in retribution. He explains that the Brown case cited above declares that if there is no regulatory purpose underlying an act, a punishment has been inflicted. That regulatory act must not bring with it the element of pains and penalties. Does income tax law fit all three descriptions? If so, is the law a forbidden bill of attainder? Thus, if a law, 1, is a law, 2, with a...
Okay, and let's stretch on that a little bit more, people, because we don't realize on certain things. Income tax is volunteering. Now, what they did is create a code, statutes, rules, and regulations against the business for you to sign these things. And I would digress. I'm not giving legal advice, but I would do this under penalty of perjury and under duress. That I do not consent each and every time you file out the W form. By the way, W form, or pretty much a lot of them, they can't even be held up in court, in the IRS courts. They cannot be held against you. I know, people, this is government for you, right? Stupid crap they pull.
Penalty attached, 3, to an individual or group, and if the law would, 1, take property or money to punish or penalize or fulfill a non-governmental, perhaps social purpose, 3, without a regulatory function being fulfilled, that law is a bill of attainder, unless, 4, the issue addressed is first presented to a jury limited by due process, which none are. Some might argue, Manueller observes, that a tax imposed on all citizens of a state does not single out an easily ascertainable group, and because everyone pays the tax, they are no different from any social welfare program. Everyone pays taxes to support welfare programs, yet only a select group of citizens receives the benefits. Under this logic, if reparations packages are bills of attainder, then any selectively dispersed public group evinces a bill of attainder. Punishment defined. Punishment is defined at this document here as some pain or penalty warranted by law inflicted on a person for the commission of a crime or misdemeanor, or for the omission of the performance of an act required by law. The punishments are fines, forfeitures, suspension, or deprivation of some political or civil right. So there's your punishment. Can we be forced to pay income tax? Forced? I guess you could say in some ways yes. But let's see what Manueller has to conclude. For Congress to extract any tax for past abuses becomes constitutionally suspect. He has a narrow focus. He believes it is unjust for a taxpayer today to be forced to pay for social crimes committed by the grandfathers of those taxpayers in the past. Yet his reasoning applies to us today. Why should any individual protected by the guarantees in the U.S. Constitution be obligated to endure the pain or suffering punishment for failing to observe a law with no regulatory purpose aside from social engineering, a law not first put in place by a jury of his peers? What power does Congress have to inflict upon any of us the attainder contained in the income tax laws? To enforce his conviction, Manweller cites Fletcher versus Peck. The legislature is then prohibited from passing a law by which a man's estate, or any part of it, shall be seized for a crime which was not declared by some previous law, to render him liable for punishment.
Now we're going to pause there right now, just for a second again. Now, realize this, y'all. Taxpayer. What is the definition of taxpayer? Right? Okay, taxpayer under the definition, you must file a return. Okay? Business, McDonald's, they got to file returns. Okay? We just assume that we had to file returns. But since we volunteer into this, we do file returns, overpaying and all that. Well, why do you overpay? So you can file a return. So therefore you can be a taxpayer under their definition. If it wasn't for a return, then it would be really classified as a bill of attainder. However, if you don't do certain things, what do? Come after you. The number one problem people are facing when they go to court, they are claiming they are a taxpayer. And it's the wrong venue if you do not own a business. Income is profit. So when you go in there and say, well, my income's $400 a week working for John Smith, well, you're not making a profit. That is not an income. Okay? That is fair exchange. My time and labor for possibly banknotes. Exchange. But it's not income. Therefore, because it's not profitable, you're not making a profit.
Before I go on, I just want to be very clear here that this is not to be intended to be any kind of recommendations, legal, lawful, or for any kind of professional, personal, or any other endeavor regarding anything to do with taxes, laws, legal, or any other personal matters. This is just for educational, entertainment purposes. Don't do this at home. All right, let's continue.
I second that emotion.
What were the founders trying to do for us when they outlawed bills of attainder? The writers of the U.S. Constitution were building a wall of protection between individuals and the government, seeking to empower the group that established the nation, we, the people. Lincoln, if he had lived, might have seen it this way. Were there no bills of attainder, government would be of the people, voted into office by the people in elections, counted honestly by the people, controlled by grand jury oversight, for the people, bowing to trial juries that shield individuals from oppression. If this is what the founders intended, my question is, at what point did the people surrender this shield to administrative bureaucrats? When did the wall fall? Was the Constitution amended to remove Article 1, Section 9, Paragraph 3? Not my copy. To the contrary, the prohibition is repeated to apply to all states in Article 1, Section 10, Paragraph 1. When did juries become more of a threat to the people group than a haven of protection?
All right. So we're going to go ahead and stop here because I got to go pick up my grandbaby. Hopefully we'll finish this on the next video. And let y'all ponder this, right? Think about this. Think outside the box. Is there a legit case as such, right? When we go into court using attorneys, they call you a taxpayer. You're people in your town, your county wanting to pay, confiscate your property, they're calling you a taxpayer. All right? On my documents is one of the people. I rebut taxpayer. I cannot be a taxpayer on my said property due to I'm not operating a licensed business. Just for food for thought at the end of this video, y'all. This is how they are tricking us. And by the way, taxpayers is constitutionally okay. Okay? For the business. Okay? It's unconstitutional for the people of this great nation. We are going in courts operating in the wrong standing under the guise of I'm a taxpayer. Well, you just tacit agreed you're a taxpayer and the judge has zero say about this when you agreed to it. Okay? Just We the People News. Till next time.